Link is me, facing the evil of the world and challenge them and overcome them. And you can see the philosophical way too, that my disability is Ganon, the evil of the world. And me as a person are fighting Ganon every day just to survive. My name is Björn and I'm 31 years old and I'm living in Kristianstad in Sweden. My disability is called Duchenne's muscle dystrophy, and it means like I don't produce any new muscle cells, that my body degenerates over time. So since when I was like 12, I could still walk, but when I was 13, 14, I got my first wheelchair. But it hasn't stopped me from living my life anyway.
Me and Björn has known each other since high school. We've always enjoyed the Gears of War series because it's always allowed us to play in split screen. So it's almost like a part of our relationship together, Gears of War.
You're better in sniping than me.
Yeah.
I'm more into close combat.
Yeah. But I enjoy the chainsaw a bit more than you, I think.
Yeah, you do. I got involved with the Massiv project about it feels like ages ago, 2 years ago. Massiv were looking for people with different disabilities to focus on the perspective accessibility in games. And it was that time I got in touch with Mikkel.
When I created this task force for accessibility, we wanted to focus a bit more on accessibility, and we didn't really know how to approach it. So I was tasked with first someone was tasked with creating a workshop. I always had a lot to do with accessibility in my daily life because my aunt, she was the head of a home for people with disabilities in Denmark, so I grew up with it and had a lot of knowledge about it growing up. And it's been close to me before, so it's something just naturally I fell into.
It's working at all.
When you're in your wheelchair, you always get kind of far away from the computer, and it would be nice to be able to zoom in because I'm always sitting like this. This morning we tried Uplay and watched what's good and what needs a little bit more work. Like we looked at that you might need to be able to zoom in and change colors on text and such to make it more accessible.
I'm friends with Anna, she's my colleague, and we met for 4 or 5 years ago. And she's also a nerd, and I like to hang out with nerds, so that's kind of natural. So
the role of Seine and Björn is that they are external playtesters, or we actually call them external experts, because let's say me, for example, I work a lot with accessibility, but I don't live with a disability, so it's hard for me to really know what is accessible or not. In terms of accessibility, you really need to get people in that are accessibility experts, just as Seine and Björn, that live with these disabilities, that can really tell you what's it all about.
I realized that video games could be complicated when my disability progressed later on in my age of 25. I got hard to use, if we take the PS4 controller for example. I played Destiny 1 a lot, but when you're going to run, you have to press L3, the joystick down, and I don't got the power in my finger to do it, so I need to use both of my hands to do it. But I lose 1 second I have to stand still 1 second and you're dead. I don't got the time for that to wait 1 second.
So this is the Xbox accessibility controller. How it works is that it has a standard D-pad here on the side, and it has 2 buddy buttons, we call it. If I have a lot of issues with pressing left or right thumbsticks, I'm actually able to plug it into this one. This is the right thumbstick, for example. So now when I press the red button here, that will actually press the thumbstick button.
That was also a social perspective too. I was playing with random players in party, and they thought I was a bad player because of that. They don't understand my background story, of course. They don't, but that made me kind of sad many times.
So Björn has done is to customize his experience is that he plugged in to the left stick and the right stick. Instead of pressing the sticks there, which I know is hard for you sometimes, that you're able to just press these buttons underneath instead. So that's really nice for you because I know you have issues with the left sticks, like running. So now you're actually able to run just pressing that button right now. Right there.
I need your help.
Finally.
Over here.
It works.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it worked. Nice.
And I hope it works for Sanna too.
No one is the same. Like me and Björn probably needs different things, even though we both have muscle diseases.
But that's the whole thing about accessibility, right? That you are able to use the Xbox controller, but somebody else is not.
Yeah, you can't fix one problem in the same way.
No, exactly.
That I'm doing for Massiv is on a volunteer basis. Because I love games, it's a passion for me, and I could travel the world for it. My big video game collection. We are sitting here today in my living room. I call this room my holy grail because every game we got in this room defines me as a person. Of course, you can see that I have a lot of Nintendo items because of the Legend of Zelda and Super Mario. And to the Game Boy games, Link's Awakening that I played in 1993, and now it's got a remake on the Switch. So it really shows my 31-year-old life in kind of unique perspective.
The place of disabilities in video games, it's a growing topic, which I'm very excited about because it's never really been a big topic, and a lot of developers have kind of, not on purpose, but have kind of excluded a lot of people by not trying to look into accessibility. And it's hard because making a video game is very, very difficult, and you have limited resources. But I like that we're now starting to see more focus on accessibility.
Because everything gets easier and better if you have the thought from the beginning.
That's really important that we give everyone an opportunity to play. And especially this, we can make video games something truly special and uniting between us.
That Mick and I'm doing will probably change the gaming industry in some way. And this is the start for this change.